Today, on Be Something Wonderful, signs you're about to manifest your desire. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. We have a big video for you today. It was with one of you that is new to the channel, and you had a question about signs. You saw several signs that seemed to be that your desires were about to manifest. This had to do with a bunch of money and a specific person. And in both cases, as she saw these signs, she thought for sure what she wanted, what she desired was manifesting, becoming a physical experience. Now, hear this, guys, because this is powerful today. We've talked about signs in many different ways. But she's new to the channel. So a lot of the videos that we have on the channel where we talk about signs, she has not even watched yet. So we unpack this idea of signs like never before. And that's what I want to go over today, right? Because what she saw was circumstances that seemed opposite, right? Seemed to her to be negative or unwanted. And so now she's really confused. Well, let's cover this like we never have before. Remember, the whole discussion came up of signs and synchronicities and coincidences, right? Remember, signs and synchronicities are simply the unseen reality becoming seen. That great awareness that from where you come and of which you are made becomes seen as a physical experience. It's that one simultaneous reality unfolding as a physical experience in time and space from within you as you. There are no signs out there that are telling you anything. You give them all the meaning they have. I've talked about that in many different ways, but we really took it on in this conversation. The simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related but have no discernible causal connection. No physical cause and effect connection, no discernible or perceptible connection. This is the definition of synchronicity in the dictionary. Because remember, you are that simultaneous reality. You are all events. You are everything, everywhere, all at once. It's all happening now. So of course everything's connected. Of course but there's one common cause. It's an unseen cause, but you're it, right? So the simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related, but have no discernible causal connection, have no perceptible cause and effect, the way we see that physical cause and effect. Yes, because they come from within you. You are that unseen reality, focused in on a certain perspective or viewpoint. As source, to know yourself as source, to create that physical experience, that 3D reality hologram within which you participate, right? This is powerful. So you are all that is. You are everything, everywhere, all at once. So this is the definition of synchronicity, but that's what it means. And remember, even synchronicity has that definition. It's a meaningful coincidence, another definition of it. A meaningful coincidence. Well, there are no non-meaningful coincidences. They all have meaning. There are no coincidences because you create your entire reality. But remember, I love that definition, a meaningful coincidence for synchronicity, because you're the one that gives the meaning, right? And they have no meaning outside of the meaning that you give them. So this is powerful. The ideas of signs follow, they do not proceed, from Neville Goddard and from Florence Scovel Shinn. Invariably before a demonstration, before a manifestation, come signs of land. This whole idea of birds before land, the metaphysical idea of birds before land, right? She referred to Columbus, right? Before Columbus reached America, she says, he saw birds and twigs, which showed him that land was near. Land representing the physically manifested, desire or your physically manifested wish fulfilled as a physical experience. And the idea is if you see a bird, that's a sign that land is near, that your desire or your wish is manifesting or being fulfilled as a physical experience. So this was the whole idea, and I've talked about this in many videos. I referred her to a playlist and some others, but this whole idea about birds before land, right? This is based on that nautical idea that if you see birds and you're out at sea, land must be near. In other words, she thought if I see these signs, that means my manifestation must be near. So what happened? Well, remember, you are the signs. Neville and Florence Scovel Shinn were right, but not for the idea that you believe so, right? Not for the idea that there are meaningful signs indicating your desires are manifesting or that your wish is fulfilled is close, but because you are the signs. You are the birds. You are the land. It's not for the idea that there's some sign outside of you, out there in 3D reality, that's outside of you. It's not for that reason. The power in this is that you are the sign. You are the synchronicities. You are the coincidences. It's all you. You are the signs, the birds, and the land. I've talked about that in many different ways. So that's what Neville and Florence Scovel Shinn were really referring to. There's a greater meaning to all of this, right? Signs must follow. In other words, there's no sign but you in your fulfillment. So remember, you are the one simultaneous unseen reality, all that is, or that I am awareness of being, revealing itself in every moment, revealing yourself in every moment to yourself. You create it all. No thing has meaning or reality apart from or outside of the meaning or reality that you give it. So the idea of the definition of a meaningful coincidence means nothing because you're the one that gives it meaning. There are no meaningful coincidences. In other words, there are no synchronicities or signs outside of you and the meaning you give them. This is powerful today. So what do you want to do? See all people, events, things, thoughts, feelings, sensations, images, perceptions as your wishes being fulfilled. In other words, judge all appearances righteously. See all the people, see all the events, see all the things, see all the thoughts, see all your feelings, see all the sensations and the images and your perceptions as your wishes being fulfilled and your desires and dreams manifesting and coming true. And that's what they must be. That's what they must become. And they must unfold as that because you are reality. You are source, God, all that is. And there is no other. So that's what it must be. That's a very powerful notion today. You are the one and only causal connection or cause and effect of reality. You're both cause equals effect. It's all within you. The one and only unseen cause and source. You. The one and only unseen cause and source of the bizarre and remarkable and sometimes miraculous simultaneous occurrence of events and circumstances that otherwise seem unrelated with no common cause. Right? That's why they seem bizarre or miraculous or remarkable. Because they do seem to be connected, but you don't know how. That there's no common physical cause and effect pointing to it. So you're saying, well, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe they're unrelated totally, but there are no coincidences. You connect them because it's all you as that one reality. You are the common cause. Wow. The universe is not giving you signs. The universe is within you. We've talked about that. So it's not the universe giving you signs that it's coming or that you're on the right track. No one's giving that. That's you giving yourself signs or indicators that you're on the right track. You're always on the right track because you are the track. You are righteousness. You are the only reality. Right? It's you. You are the universe. All coincidences, in other words, these meaningful coincidences that they define as synchronicities, all coincidences are meaningful because you give them all the meaning they have. You give reality, signs, synchronicities, and everything else all the meaning it has. So every event and circumstance is synchronistic in that sense. because nothing has any meaning other than the meaning you give them. I hope that's clear today. This is powerful. Jesus, your I am awareness, healing at the pool of Bethesda. And I want to use this again because now we're talking about it in the context of signs and synchronicities and coincidences. Jesus says your I am awareness. This is in the show, The Chosen. So if you're new to the channel, you haven't seen that show, I refer to this show, The Chosen, based on the life of Jesus. But this pool, what's he saying? But these synchronicities, these signs, these coincidences, it does nothing for you. It means nothing. They mean nothing. It doesn't do anything for you because you create it all. They mean nothing other than the meaning and reality that you give them as I am awareness. There's no in there or out there. There is just you as all that is. You connect all events because you are all events. The only meaningful sign in synchronicities that your desires are about to manifest is you, your conviction of fulfillment, right? Your perception and viewpoint of reality as fulfillment itself. Your perspective or vantage point of viewpoint as reality itself. Neville Goddard says this, because of your belief in external things like signs and synchronicities, you think power into them by transferring the power that you are to the external thing. Wow. We transfer the power that we are to these signs and synchronicities. And then something else happens that doesn't, first we get a sign that it's coming and then we get a sign that it's not and we're wondering what's going on. That you're it. Remember, reality and everything is changing every time you look. You're creating it in every moment, right? Wow, that's powerful. All signs and synchronicities are sent out there from within you, because there's no out there. Remember, we've covered the story of Noah's Ark in terms of signs and synchronicities, and Neville Goddard points to this in his teachings. So I want to talk about it with respect to what this conversation I had with one of you. It was really a powerful way, and there are videos on this, right? But we're again going to take it to another level today. In the story of Noah's Ark, signs, synchronicities, and birds before land are all indirectly pointed to in this scripture, and I want to talk about this. It says in Genesis 8:8, Noah, he sent out a dove from him. In other words, from within him. Wow. From within him. To see if the water was abated from the face of the land. This is powerful. What's the dove represent in this case? The dove represents your highest ideal or your highest idea or your highest assumption and thought of yourself and others in reality, your identity or self-concept. It's the beautiful dove. Right? Birds representing thoughts and ideas, but the dove representing the highest spiritual thought or idea of who you are. Your ideal, who you decide to be now, that's powerful. It's your state of wish fulfilled. It's your imagined end and your imagined identity of fulfillment. It's about assuming and imagining yourself in reality as you would like it to be. That's what that represents. That's how the story goes. He sent out a dove, right, from within him to see if the water was abated. Right? From within the ark. So we're going to cover this like we never have before. We'll get back to this. The flood symbolizes being overwhelmed, one meaning of it, and surrounded by circumstances of I am not yet that which I desire to be. And I don't yet have that which I desire to have. You're flooded and overwhelmed by those 3D conditions and circumstances, right? By those contrary and opposite conditions. It's that which separates you from your wish fulfilled, that flood, right? Because remember, the flood covers the land, the actual fulfillment, your desired reality. So that it separates you from your wish fulfilled and desired reality, or the land. Land is your manifested wishes fulfilled, the demonstration, as Florence Scovel's Shin talked about in that Birds Before Land. The water, in Scripture, it has many meanings. But we're going to talk about a specific meaning that it represents here in this story. The water represents the mind. It represents the unseen reality, right? The greater mind, that great consciousness, where thoughts of I am not and assumptions of non-fulfillment can be washed away. Do you see it? That's what the water represents. The flood has a couple meanings here, but another meaning is that it washes away thoughts of non-fulfillment, thoughts of contrary conditions. So the water represents your mind, that higher spiritual unseen reality, that realm, right? It's an ultimate reality where thoughts of I am not and assumptions of non-fulfillment can be washed away. Remember, manifested reality or seen reality is only less than 0.1% of the one and only reality of all that is. The seen is less than 1% of all that you are. Your body and the circumstances and others, it's less than 1% that's seen reality. So this is powerful. The earth, your body and you are mostly more than 99.9% of that unseen divine reality. That's why you hear many people say that the body is mostly water and the earth is mostly water. It's mostly that unseen reality. That's the metaphysical significance of those ideas, right? The earth or your body or you're mostly spirit with a certain less than 0.1% physical focus, right? Representing the land, but you're mostly fulfillment. You're actually all fulfillment because even the land is fulfillment. It's just a physical manifestation, right? This is powerful here. So the water representing your mind, that unseen reality where thoughts of I am not and assumptions of non-fulfillment can be washed away. And the manifested reality, that seen reality, is less than 0.1% of the one and only ultimate reality of all that you are. In the earth and the body and you are mostly that unseen reality, that more than 99.9% of reality, or mostly water, mostly spirit. You're all spirit, but in terms of seeing it, in terms of the physical experience, right? You don't see it. Even the land is spirit. It's all source. It's all substance, 100%, right? So the ark, in this case, is you as that unique, individualized center of the one divine mind, of the great I am. This is all that is, the great I am. You build the ark as that conscious center of the one divine mind, right? Embodying that. I and the Father are one, but the Father is greater than I. Embodying that idea. The ark is built by you, hear this, consciously affirming, assuming, and imagining reality and yourself from that ideal. That ideal that you're one with the Father, you're one with Source, that you're not separate from any of it. You're affirming that oneness with the great I am. That's how you build your ark. And it says in Genesis 8:16, you shall make a window for the ark and finish it to a cubit from the top. Cubit is a natural measure right back then. You're not measuring your wish fulfilled by what you can see out there by a physical measure, but rather by your true nature of fulfillment. That's why they deliberately said a cubit from the top, a natural measure from the top. Remember, they're making a window, hear this, in the ceiling of the ark. So Noah couldn't see out that window, right? That was the whole significance. It's not to look for signs and see the raging flood waters, but to go within. It's a natural measure, a cubit from the top, measured by what you sow, not by what you reap. That's what that means, the cubit measurement. Reality or fulfillment is measured by what you sow, not by what you reap. It's measured by the unseen, not by the seen. That's why the window is in the ceiling, right? That's pretty powerful. Stay with me here. You're going to love this, right? So a cubit from the top means the window is in the ceiling where it could be opened. It could be opened, but it couldn't not be seen through. Noah couldn't see through it physically. This is where the dove is sent out from within you. Your assumptions of fulfillment, your assumptions of your ideal, your imaginal scene, who you are, right? As you look up, right? You rise in consciousness. It's the assumption which you feel, your imaginal scene. It's not measured by what's going on out there. He couldn't see it. It was in the ceiling, right? In other words, Noah, you, you playing all the parts, couldn't see out of it to look for physical signs of land or wish fulfilled, or to see if the floodwaters were receding or abated, or that the signs that your desires are about to manifest. You can't see it from there. Because there are no signs or synchronicities out there. Wow. They all come or all sent. They all come from or all sent out from within you. Right? Keep your awareness, keep your attention, keep your vision and assumption on above and within. Above and within the ark. Above in the windows in the ceiling, and within the ark. Right? The ark that you're building. You consciously, as a conscious center, individualized perspective, or center of the one divine mind, but one with it, right? Not on the raging floodwaters of circumstances. Wow, that's powerful. That appear to be covering up your desired reality. That's powerful. But remember, it's those same raging floodwaters of 3D circumstances that wash away all thoughts and assumptions of doubt, fear, and non-fulfillment as you focus above and within on your preferred reality. Then the land of that desired reality is revealed as it's washed away, right? It reveals itself. The waters abate, they recede. And it's said here that Noah opened the window and sent out a raven, and it flew from here and there until the water was dried up from the earth. This is before he sent out the dove. He sent out the raven. What's the raven represent? Remember, birds representing ideas or thoughts or assumptions, but in this case, the raven represents your thoughts, ideas, and assumptions of non-fulfillment. Those negative thoughts, those negative assumptions. It represents the thoughts and assumptions of non-fulfillment that are always flying all over the place. Right? They're all over the place. So it says it here. Noah opened the window, sent out a raven, and it flew here and there. Those thoughts go here and there and everywhere. They never land anywhere. They just fly all over the place, and they just dry up all that. They never find land, right? They just fly all around. They never find fulfillment. They never find land. And they never return. Remember, the raven, unlike the dove, doesn't return to the ark. It just flies around. You just release those negative, you release the attachment to your desired outcome. Right? You release those negative thoughts. You just let them be. You don't do anything with them. They'll fly around and do their thing, but you are no longer identifying with them. The raven symbolizing being attached to the outcome and never finding a place to land. They never find a place to land. They just fly around. They don't do anything. This is powerful. So then Noah follows by sending out the dove, which we just referred to here, I believe, where he sends out the dove. So he sends out the raven, and then it said 7 days later, 7 representing completion, representing that divine knowing, representing that it's done, that you are fulfilled. It's that fulfilled state. Remember, it's not 7 days in terms of time, but in terms of that conviction within you. So he sends out the dove and the raven, and then 7 days sends out the dove, right? But the dove returns, unlike the raven, all right? The dove found no resting place, hear this, for the sole of her foot. So she returned it says she returned to him into the ark, within again. You going within, you staying within that wish fulfilled. You keep imagining and staying within that only reality. He brought her into the ark to himself. Look at the wording here. Flew into, right? Returned to him, into the ark. Right? Brought her into the ark, into himself, to himself. Wow, resting in fulfillment, resting in that Sabbath. It reminds me of Joshua, right? In Joshua in Scripture where it says, God says, every place that the sole of your foot treads or will tread upon, I have given you. You hear the powerful in the tenses there, meaning they're already yours. It doesn't matter where you walk. Everything's already yours. I have already given it to you. So just assume or imagine whatever you want because it's already yours. Wow. Right? And in this case, it's demonstrating that you're persisting in that state of wish fulfilled, that you know it's yours. You don't have to persist and imagine to be and have it. It's already yours. Only to remember and recognize that it's already yours. Only to unify and embody that it's been given you in what's already yours. That's what that means. It already has been given you. This is powerful. So it says in Scripture that he waited another 7 days. Again, waiting in this case is not what we think from waiting for something to happen out there. That's not it, because there is no out there. He's persisting or expecting from absolute fulfillment, from the conviction, right? Being fulfilled, expecting it from fulfillment, expecting it from a state of conviction. That's why it says another 7 days, completion, fulfillment. It's done. It's mine. I know it. It's an absolute conviction. And again, he sent out the dove from the ark, right? And this is powerful. And then it says, this time, the dove came to him. The dove returned, and in her beak was a freshly picked olive leaf. Wow. So this time, the second time, the dove returns again, but not empty-handed here. So Noah knew in that moment, this is where you reach that state of, where he reaches that state of absolute conviction. So Noah knew, the knowing that the water was abated from the land without seeing any of it, because the window's in the ceiling. It's all an inside job, right? There's no in there, there's no out there. It's just you. The sign came from within him in the ark. The conviction of fulfillment, right? That is the sign. He knew now that the physical manifestation's there. It's absolutely there. Noah then sends the dove out a third time. Again, think of this. 3 times he sends the dove out. The number 3 also has a very similar meaning to the number 7. To a little lesser extent, a little different, but it still means completion or whole. You in that absolute fulfillment or conviction of your wish fulfilled. Sends the dove out a third time, also meaning completion, divine perfection. It's done. This time, the dove didn't return. The third time, the dove found land. It's done. It found land, right? All done within the ark, right? Within that state of fulfillment, right? Wow. The dove finding dry land means your wish is fulfilled within, without, everywhere, right? There's no distinction. There's no difference. You are that which you desire to be no matter what. No matter if you can see it, not, or yet. Right? Even if you can't see it yet. Remember, Noah's not seeing anything. He just he's going on knowing. Do you see? The signs are not outside of you. There's no evidence or proof outside of you. You don't need it. It's a knowing. The physical experience and manifestation is inevitable. It's inevitable. Just stay in that knowing. That's what Neville meant, that signs follow, they do not proceed. It's all done from within and above. It makes seen manifested circumstances and signs and conditions irrelevant. Wow. Do you see how irrelevant they are in that story of Noah? Signs you're about to manifest your desire. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on our videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/BeSomethingWonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, anywhere on social media at Tom Kearin or Be Something Wonderful. You can find us, and the membership channel. Wow, this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time here in the U.S., we're going to have another live stream on our membership channel. We're going to be answering your questions live in the chat right here. I'm going to be live with you. And I'm going to also be answering your questions and hitting topics that you've been sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. If you're a member, join us. If you're not a member, check out the link below. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.